Hello there, welcome back to 0 to 60 Motoring once again. My name is Bill Tori and this is a 2007 Toyota Premio 240 series. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things about this car, so hang around until the end of this video review. Previously, I've reviewed the Toyota Premio and Allion T260 series. You can check their reviews on our motoring page. That is a 0 to 60 Motoring. If you want to purchase a car, you can task us to scout a clean car for you. Also do pre-purchase inspection. Contact us on the number below so that we scout a clean car for you. So the Toyota Premio is a common car. Basically, in your village or a neighborhood, most probably you know someone who owns a Toyota Premio. So it's a car that every Tom, Dick and Harry know. And there are very good reasons why the Toyota Premio is a popular car in Kenya. The other day I was in Tanzania. It's also a very popular car there. And I saw it also selling very well in Uganda. So there are reasons that will propel someone to purchase the Toyota Premio. Now, this is the 240 variation whose production started back in 2001 up to 2007. So this being a 2007 model is among the last batches of the T240 Premios. So these are Premio 240 series took over from the Premio Corona. The Premio Corona in Kenya, we normally call it a Premio Nyoka. So the Toyota Premio is a compact sedan that is loved by very many people in the Kenyan market. When you look at this 2007 model, it is the last batches before we hopped over into the T260 series. This car, when you look at it pretty well, it is a car that is going to serve you for a long time if it's properly maintained. Of course, in our Kenyan terrain, when we normally purchase these cars, the most common aftermarket additions that people are going to add to this car to make it last include something like a heavy duty springs, or you can call them medium duty springs, because the ground clearance of the Premio 240 on its original stock suspension, it's normally lower to the ground. So what powers are the Toyota Premio 240 series? The Toyota Premio 240 can be served, or you have a choice of 3 engine variations. What I have here is a 1.8 liter naturally aspirated petrol engine that is normally called 1ZZ engine. This car can also be found with a 1.5 liter, that is the ubiquitous Toyota's 1NZFE engine. And this car can also be found with a 2000cc petrol engine. So just like the Premio 260 series, the 240 series is also served in different grades depending on the engine. F for 1500cc, this one is X, 1.8 liter, and then there is a G package which utilizes a 2 liter. And the 2 liter is what is also applied in the Toyota Avensis. It's called a 1Z engine D4. If you want a detailed and in-depth review of the Toyota Avensis, you can also check it on this channel. Now, the power ratings of these 1.8 liter here 1ZZ engine are in the region of 130 horsepower. And for this Toyota Premio 240 series, power normally goes to the front wheels, or it can go to all the 4 wheels via a 4-speed automatic transmission. For this Toyota Premio, just like the 260 series, there is no manual transmission gearbox. It's a 4-speed automatic gearbox, but the difference between this and the T260 series is that in the T260 series, they come with a continuous variable transmission. So many people are going to purchase the Toyota Premio 240 series. They are interested in functionality, A to B movements, rather than performance. So when you look at this Toyota Premio 240 series in terms of driving dynamics, and you compare it to the newer variations of the newer sedans, you realize that the Toyota Premio feels a little bit heavy to the road. It's a heavier car technically, even when you are comparing it to the T260 series. So these are 1.8 liter coupled with a 4-speed automatic transmission is not a combination that will really inspire enthusiasm, but it's something that is meant for A to B movements. Of course, our 4-speed automatic transmissions are not the best in terms of acceleration. So technically, you have to put your foot down for this car to move. you have to rev it hard for it to change gears. Of course, that is a liability when it comes to fuel consumption, but I'll be getting into the fuel consumption numbers in a few moments. One thing I really like about this Toyota Premio 240 in terms of driving is that the heavy nature of this car gives it a little bit of, let me say, grip to the road. And on a good suspension, you are going to like how this car drives, especially on a straighter line. Of course, when I say you like how this car drives, I mean you should picture how an entry-level Toyota car should drive. So technically, I also don't expect you to have very huge expectations, especially in terms of the handling of this car. One thing you may also not like about Toyota Premios that is generally is that their braking is normally not that sharp, especially if you want to kill momentum that quick, because it's very simple. Up front, you have disc brake and drum brakes at the rear side, and you know drum brakes, especially for these Toyota Premium, they are not normally the best when maybe you want to kill the momentum. So the Toyota Premium is a car that gets the job done, A to B movements only. Of course, with a 1.8 liter and 4-speed automatic transmission, it's not a car that is geared towards performance. But if you drive this 1.8 liter and the 1.5 liter, you realize the 1.8 liter has a little bit of grunt na ijivuti sana compared to the 1.5 liter. So that's why this one is actually the best of the bunch, or let me say the best of the range when you are looking at the Toyota Premium versions. Of course, the 2 liter with the D4 engine gives you better performance. That is if you know how to live with direct injection engines. Now, if you want a good performance at 750,000 shillings, there are other cars that can get the job done in a better manner, in a more civilized manner. Something like a Subaru Legacy BP5 with a 2 liter turbo engine will be a better performer in terms of handling, even in terms of a braking capability. You can get into a Toyota Mark-X, a GRX 120, 125 series. You can get into a Nissan Skyliner. You can get into a Nissan Fuga with a 2.5 liter V6. Those cars will give you better performance at that 750,000 price range. But of course, performance comes at a cost, and the cost in this case is going to be fuel consumption. If you also have a 750,000 shillings, you can also get into something like, you can revise the budget a little bit and get into a Subaru Outback BP9. You can get something like a Subaru Forester SG5. The reason I'm mentioning all those cars is that I want to give you ideas that you can get better performance at 750,000 shillings over what the Toyota Premium brings to the table. But I still want you to see why the cars I'm mentioning may not be everyone's cup of tea, especially in terms of running cost and when you are looking at maybe a country usage. Someone who's purchasing a Toyota Premium, most probably fuel consumption is among their priorities. Now, from my driving, the realistic fuel figures of these 1.8 liter Toyota Premium 240 on a highway that is a little bit busy will be around 12.5 kilometers per liter. But if you go on an open road and stretch the car, you are likely to register up to 13 point something kilometers per liter. The last time I reviewed the Toyota Premio 260 series with a 1.8 liter, I said that the T260 series returns better numbers over these T240 series. And the reason is pretty simple. The 2ZR in the 260 series is technologically advanced, and of course the 260 series has a CVT gearbox, which is smoother than the 4-speed automatic transmission here, and most importantly, the 240 is heavier than the 260. So that's why the fuel numbers in the 240 series may not be as impressive as a T260 series. Many people purchase the Toyota Premio because of its bulletproof reliability reputation. The 1.8 liter here 1ZZ engine is a no-nonsense engine, or let me say foolproof engine, as long as you give it the care it deserves. So it's a car that is not going to surprise you in the morning as long as you give it the right treatment. Of course, 4-speed automatic transmissions are not the best when it comes to acceleration or performance, but they are robust and, let me say, hardy. And that is why it is very difficult to find someone that has a problem with their transmission in the Toyota Premio or even the Allion T240 series. So it is a reliable combination. At high mileages, the 1ZZ engine here can have issues to do with the oil consumption, and immediately you notice that, it means that now your engine is now ready for something like a rebuild. But it should go up to 300,000 kilometers if well kept, without necessarily needing anything to do with an engine rebuild. The reliability song still continues to the 1.5 liter 1NZ FE engine. So the 1.5 liter and the 1.8 liter here, those are very reliable engines that are not going to give you any problem. Now, this car can also be found with a 2000cc. Of course, I've already told you that is the D4 engine 1NZ. So the difference between this and the D4 engine is not only in terms of the size of the engine, but in terms of the fuel injection technique. The D4 engine is a direct injection engine. It's just like the GDI in Mitsubishi or even the FA20 in the Subaru Forester XT. So the D4 engine is the same motor you're going to find in the Toyota Avensis. The D4 engine, of course, packs more power, and it's even smoother than this one on the highway. And sometimes you can also find it to be fuel efficient compared to this 1.8 liter here. But the D4 engine needs more care than this 1ZZ engine. Just like any direct injection engine, the D4 engine needs clean fuel. It needs someone who's conversant with how that technology or how that system works, because you may be also having issues with the carbon buildup. So when I'm looking at the Toyota Premio 240 series, the 1ZZ engine or the 1NZF engine, those are the simplest engines to work with. But if you want to purchase the Toyota Premio 240 series with the D4 engine, you have to identify someone who's conversant with a direct injection engine, going to enjoy that power and fuel efficiency. And a good thing with the G package of the Toyota Premio 240, that is the one with the D4 engine, is that they are normally cheaper than the X package. So if you want to purchase a Toyota Premio 240 series, and you are not that conversant with cars, or you just want something simple to live with, my advice will be stick to the Premio 240 X package or F package. But if you are a mechanically inclined and you want more power and you are willing to spend on your car, then consider the one with the D4 engine. So away from the sterling reliability reputation of the Toyota Premio 240 series, there is another factor that makes it a car that is simple to live with, especially in the upcountry region. This is a popular car, and being popular, it means that getting a technical support is very easy. It's a car that doesn't have fancy technology, and that one means that any mechanic will easily fix it. And considering that it's a popular car, it's easier to find its parts. And that is a very good reason for people who are considering this car, especially in the upcountry usage. So this is the cabin of this Toyota Premio 240 series. And the reason I'm saying when you are purchasing this car, it's all about functionality and practicality. You can just check how this car looks like. This is just a minimalist car. There is no fancy stuff inside here. So it's not a car that is going to put a smile on your face if maybe you want an aesthetically appealing car or a premium package in the interior. This is a car that is meant to move you from A to B. So nothing much about fanciness here. So the Toyota Premio is going to check your boxes if you want something that is economical to run and something that won't surprise you in the morning, or something that is not going to break the bank. The only problem with the Toyota Premio 240 series is that a majority of them are ambitiously priced. The reason that the Toyota Premio 240 series is sold expensively in the Kenyan market is because this car has a crazy demand. So even those cars that are listed for 850,000 shillings online, they still get clients. So that means those cars are still going to be sold at high prices, and priced tag around 800,000 shillings. It tells you that those cars have been holding their values for a very long time, because if someone bought the car at 800,000 shillings back in 2014, 13, 2012, and they are still asking the same amount of money in 2025, then it tells you that those people are purchasing the Toyota Premio either obsessed with the car, or they just want the Toyota Premio. And now those are the kind of people who are validating the huge prices around the Toyota Premio 240 series. I think that a short review is going to give you a little bit of insights regarding this car. If you want a review of its newer version 3 to 60 series, check it on our YouTube channel. As well, I've also done a detailed review of the Toyota Avensis and even the Toyota Allion. If you have a question or something that was not answered in this review, you can always get in touch with us on the number that we've shared, or on our social media platforms. I think that is enough for today, guys. I'll see you on the next one on 0 to 60 motoring.